You're listening to The Craig Fahle Show on 101.9 WDET. Thank you very much for being with me today. And as, of course, things get tense before this election, it is nice to have a little bit of humor to sort of soften the mood a little bit, to take the edge off of what is going on. And the group that has joined me today will definitely help us in that regard. Habeas Chorus is here in the studio right now. That includes Jim Robb, Brian Figgett, Sarah Fisher, Justin Klimko, Michael Liebson, Joseph Labella, Mark Lazat, Angela Williams, and Judy Zorn, attorneys by day, and of course, satirical humor singers by night, apparently. And they are here in the studio. They've got a show coming up, as a matter of fact, at Berkeley High School Auditorium at 8 o'clock on Friday night. Welcome to the Craig Fahle Show. Pleasure to have everybody here today.
Thank you.
All right. And Jim, you're going to lead us off on the first song. This one promises to be quite funny. Living in Royal Oak. Take it away.
Hey, welcome to Main Street, baby. The hippest street in Michigan. All right. They're into ostentation, black leather, and fast cars.
The trendy generation, you'll find them in the bars.
They're buying up the realty, prices are through the roof.
Go out there on a weekend, and you will see the proof.
They're driving old-time merchants from their stores on Main. Resisting their invasion is totally in vain. They become a royal pain. Upscale, hip downtown,
Living in Royal Oka.
trendy shops are found.
The prices will make you broker.
Coffee bars abound.
Serving designer mocha.
It can get you down.
Living in Royal Oka.
Living in Royal Oka. Living in Royal Oka.
They live in Michigan, but
They put on their worldly airs.
they're dropping names and they're dropping money.
They mistake me for one who cares.
They're drinking scotch and water and expensive French champagne. They're all looking fabulous, but no one has a brain. Yeah, their small talk is inane. Upscale, hip downtown,
Living in Royal Oka.
trendy shops are found.
Prices will make you broker.
Coffee bars abound.
Serving designer mocha.
It can get you down.
Living in Royal Oka.
Living in Royal Oka.
Yeah,
Living in Royal Oka.
Habeas Chorus here on the Craig Fahle Show on 101.9 WDET. Very funny, and for those of us that spend some time in Royal Oak, a lot of truth in that, which is the beauty of satire. Anybody who wants to chime in on these questions, go ahead, but where does the writing come in on this? Who's responsible for coming up with these lyrics here?
Mr. Klimko is.
All right, Mr. Klimko. How much time does this take you? Because you've got. I'm looking at your lineup for the show. There's 25 numbers that you guys are going to do here.
Yeah, we've probably done over 400 songs over the course of our entire career. It takes a fair amount of time, but it's a song here, a song there, and some songs go quickly, and some songs take a while.
And this is 21 years of doing this, correct?
20 years, yeah.
All right. Well, here's the question: how many of you are original members here? Everybody, I've got hands up.
I am.
Okay, one, two.
We all are.
All of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been going on. Have you lost anybody over this time, or is it been pretty much the same number of people?
One person. We had a person in for a couple years, and she left. But other than that, it's been the same cast.
All right,
And because we kept going, she refers to herself as the fifth Beatle.
Oh, you're talking about Lorraine. Okay, and I was also talking about Pat. So you're right, there were two.
all right, get nice and close so we can hear you too, to make sure that we can hear everybody here. But you all work for different firms in different areas of law. I have to ask how you came together.
Well, there was a Federal Bar Association dinner, and they'd done a dinner dance historically, and the president that year thought that it would be a good idea to do something different. So she put on a talent show and just went around and said, "Who's got talent?" And anybody who
found
wouldn't-
none, she got us.
Yeah, she couldn't find any, so we were there.
Yeah, and so that this idea was then born.
It was originally, we thought it was going to be a one-shot, but we had so much fun doing that Justin, I think, was the one who got a hold of everybody the week after and said, that was a lot of fun. Why don't we do something like that again? And
But this is like a once-a-year thing where you do the public show, correct?
it is. We probably perform, maybe up to a dozen times a year, but a lot of times it's bar events, charity outings, corporate parties, and so forth. But once a year we do the public show, mostly just so friends, family, and everybody else can have a chance to come and see us.
And because parody and satire obviously needs to be timely, Justin writes, and we do, a completely new show every year.
Well, and obviously an election year's got to be something special. If you've been around for 20 years, this is your fourth bite at the apple here, or fifth bite at the apple, excuse me. Does this give you a lot more fodder?
Well, there's always plenty of fodder. I mean, clearly the elections too. We had enormous fun with Bill Clinton, and we had enormous fun with George Bush, and not quite as much fun with Barack Obama because he's just not quite as imitable as some of the others, but some fun there too. And then with local politics, of course, we've had a field day.
Well, I want to make sure we get a few songs in here, so we're going to hear another one. And my understanding is that this one is based. Let's see. What's this next one going to be about here? Who wants to tackle this one?
We're going to do a song about the city of Detroit, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Called The Oldest Established Permanent Line of Crap.
Very good. Take it away, Habeas Chorus.
Well, what is happening in the city of Detroit?
Kwame Kilpatrick is on trial again.
City Council rejected the Belle Isle lease.
Another police chief resigns after being caught with his pants down.
How are we ever going to survive?
The city's short 300 mil, but the state says it won't foot the bill.
The departments continue to bleed, paying workers they really don't need. The crime rate's incredibly high, and folks are afraid to go out after dark.
And we can't help but wonder why there's nothing but weeds in the parks.
But the leaders say leave it to them. They don't need any dumb EFM.
Why the mayor, he says, put your faith in Detroit.
If you're coming downtown, then it's all very good.
You'll be safe if you stay out of our neighborhoods. Though we're bankrupt, you gotta have faith in what the future's holding in store. It's the oldest established permanent line of crap, same as before.
There are politicians everywhere. There are politicians everywhere.
And there's no end to the con job that they give us when they're on the air. If we only had a dime each time they lied, we would be a millionaire.
The council says put all your faith in, put your faith in Detroit.
We will jealously safeguard the power we hold.
We'd rather keep a pile of crap than share piles of gold.
There's no money, but you should have faith in spending cuts we pledge to restore.
It's the oldest established permanent line of crap, same as before.
Cut the nonsense, use your brain.
Wait for common sense and you'll wait in vain.
It's the oldest established permanent line of crap, same as before.
Habeas Chorus, I think, just sort of summed up the feelings of a whole lot of people here in Metro Detroit with that one song right there. I appreciate that very much. Well, what's great about that one is it seems with the intro that you do, you can just sort of insert crisis du jour and keep it up to date. So that's something that you could probably bring back 20 years from now.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Craig, because we first did that song in 1996 with a different set of things going on.
Well, fantastic stuff. I really enjoy this. Obviously, to be an attorney, and for those of you that are actually in court on a regular basis, I mean, there is a certain amount of theatrical skill that you have to present your arguments and be convincing. Does that help in getting ready for this, or is it the other way around? Does this help in that regard?
Well, I've always told young lawyers that most of our trial lawyers are really frustrated actors. The problem I've told them is that they think it's scripted when in fact it's improv. And that's pretty much the life in the law, and that has a lot to do with what we do. It's scripted, but every so often it goes improv.
Well, and that's why so many theatrical presentations, so many plays over the years have drawn from the courtroom, because it's very structured, and yet within the structure, anything can happen.
Well, I mean, it's fun watching everybody work together, because obviously there's a little bit of work that goes into pulling this off, and being as tight as you are in something like this, especially in a situation in the studio where you're just coming together with different equipment and not used to the setup. How much time do you get to rehearse?
Depends on what happens when with a thing like the public show coming up. I mean, we'll be together maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
Through the course of the year, once a week, once every other week, just depends on the schedule. But this lead up here to our public show, it's a lot of time. This is the biggest thing for a lot of us. Brian sometimes refers to it as the equivalent of our bowling league here. This is where we always get together, and this is our biggest and best hobby.
It also helps that Jim Robb and Judy Zorn actually know something about music, technically and otherwise.
Well, there was some nice singing there, by the way, Judy. That was fantastic to see. But we've got a little bit of time. I want to hear another song. But getting back to the show again, it's coming up on Friday night at Berkeley High School, 8 o'clock show at Berkeley High. As far as doing a once-a-year show, is there any desire to do more than that in terms of the public, or is it best to sort of make this sort of an annual tradition kind of thing?
Well, actually,
step right up to there.
I'm
there
sorry.
you go. It's okay.
We've been doing this.
Get a little closer even yet.
We've been doing this public show for 20 years, and on occasion we've had an opportunity to do another show as a
Benefit.
As a benefit.
Okay.
And that was out in Grosse Pointe for, was it Sarah, what school was that?
It was at Pierce Junior High.
Hey, that's my old school.
We did figure out one time, though, that if we did about 300 shows a year and charged 10 times what we charge, we could make a living at it.
Although we have not raised ticket prices in 20 years, and I don't know anybody else that can say that.
Well, very good. Again, a Habeas Chorus Lines public show. You couldn't make this up. An evening of musical parody, satire, and laughter coming up 8 o'clock Friday night at Berkeley High School Auditorium. We've got time for another song here, and this one, I understand, has something to do with the bus system in our community. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, very good. Take it away.
So, I feel like I've been here all morning. How long have you guys been waiting for the bus?
Oh, about 3 days.
What? I've got to get to a meeting in Troy.
Well, you might want to consider walking. It'd be faster.
Walking? That would take all day.
Yeah, like I said, you might want to consider walking.
You gotta have smart if you ever hope to start. There's a lot of people waiting like us, praying the bus will depart. You gotta have routes, though your mind is full of doubts. Whether traveling to here or to there, you'll get nowhere without routes.
When the riders start to panic,
'cause the bus is breaking down,
we would kill for a mechanic, but there's never one around.
You gotta have hope, it's the only way to go. Though your anger's getting hard to conceal, and you're left feeling like a dope, still you gotta have hope.
a fast subway we haven't got.
some nice streetcars we haven't got.
Some smooth roadways we haven't got. What do we got?
We've got smart, our frustrations off the chart. Well, commuting is the bane of our life. Feels like a knife right through the heart.
We are whistling and we're humming.
Hum, hum, hum.
If we don't, we're gonna cry.
Hi, hi, hi.
'Cause we know the bus ain't coming.
Hum, hum, hum.
We'll be waiting till we die.
Why, why, why?
We've got smart. It is not a work of art. Sure, we wish we had an auto, of course, or even a horse and a cart.
Well, our public transportation
is a terrible joke.
It's the worst in the nation
and it's constantly broke.
Instead of quality,
We've got smart. We've got smart. We've got smart.
A Habeas chorus line on the Craig Fahle Show here on 101.9 WDET. Their show, You Couldn't Make This Up, is coming up on Friday night at Berkeley High School Auditorium. Big thanks to, again, Jim Robb, Brian Figgett, Sarah Fisher, Justin Klimko, Michael Liebson, Joseph Labella, Mark Lazat, Angela Williams, and Judy Zorn. Thank you, everybody. That was fantastic and a whole lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
And, I think you might get a lot of people showing up. If people want tickets, where do they have to go?
Tickets are available at the door, $15 a ticket. It's general admission seating, so we always suggest that people come early.
And we don't have credit card capability, so bring your checkbook or bring your cash.
That's right. Bring the wallet. Bring the cash. Thank you, everybody. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks.
And this is the Craig Fahle Show on 101.9 WDET. We'll be right back.